Good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. So I'm not doing the the usual podcast at the green screen. I do have I think bronchitis or some sort of upper respiratory infection. I'm on antibiotics, so I didn't really have the energy at the moment to spend the whole weather podcast standing at the green screen wall. So this could be another kind of sit down weather discussion. And it's not going to be that long today just because I'm not feeling the best at the moment. So, a couple of things. The big thing is the temperature. We are seeing very cold temperatures. And I want to start, let me just pull this up first. There's a couple of advisories that were put out throughout the tri-state region here. So, let me get to here. Alright, now, let me switch over to my computer screen. And this is where we're seeing wind chill warning, wind chill advisory, and then these couple other kind of related to the temperatures. But let's go to the wind chill warning, which is more so in Sullivan and western Ulster, excuse me, western Ulster County there. The wind chill warning. This is something that doesn't pop up too often. Dangerously, and this is from the National Weather Service here. Dangerously cold wind chills expected. The dangerously cold wind chills will cause frostbite in as little as 10 minutes to exposed skin. Expect wind chills to range from 5 below 0 to 25 below 0. Now, I'm going to also put a link in the description. I did put up a video and explainer about frostbite, so I did do a little something on frostbite. I believe it was either the earlier this year or the end of last year. But it's cold and it's going to be windy, so you definitely want to bundle up and have as little exposed skin as possible. Just because in as little as 10 minutes, you can start getting frostbite. 20, 30 minutes, yeah, you're probably getting into, I think it's second or third degree frostbite. I think that's how that goes. But yeah, you're getting into the darkening of your skin at that point. So you want to have no exposed skin at all throughout this. And we'll talk once we get a little bit more into the weekend about what is expected for New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day. So that's the warnings out there. And then on the national radar here, there's nothing really too much going on at the moment. If we zoom down into the southeast, yeah, there's some rain going through. But if you notice, this is pretty much moving straight from west to east. So this isn't really coming up our way. It's going to just move through the Gulf of Mexico region and just pretty much out back into the Atlantic. What we're looking at, this system right here, looks like it's just starting right pretty much over Idaho, going through the Midwest. And then this is going excuse me. This is what's going to be slowly coming into our area, giving some potentially accumulating snow for the weekend. So it's been flip-flopping over the past couple of days about what it's really going to be, what's going to turn out to be. So let's take a look now at some of these forecast models. GFS we're going to start out with first. So here, this is this evening, dry and cold, pretty much that way. And then now this is going Friday evening. Friday evening going into Saturday. Then Saturday evening and Sunday. Now if you notice, there's no precipitation in the tri-state region at all through this. It kind of approaches from western Pennsylvania there, going into the early morning on Friday. That's about 7 a.m. Friday. And on Saturday, let's go 7 a.m. Saturday. Pretty dry there. And yeah, not really anything. This is different from previous runs of the GFS. Let me see if I can go back a couple. Let's see here. So this was from Sunday's model run. And then this is last weekend when I was forecasting on television. So this is kind of what I was seeing then. This low pressure system coming up the coast, and it's giving a little bit of snowfall out there. So that was Sunday's forecast model, and just we'll quickly go to Monday. Yeah, there we go. There's 7 a.m. Monday. And then let's see, here we go. So this showed a about the same story going into Monday. This is something interesting that's doing kind of like run-to-run comparisons between one particular forecast model at a time. We're not going to spend all the time doing this. I just wanted to do this with the GFS just to show you. So this is Friday, Saturday, and then this is where it started to show it's kind of going down in the snow totals. Then it was Tuesday. I showed you Wednesday already, which is today's, which really is nothing. And that is not even really until next week, but we're not going to look at that. We're just going to pretty much go this week until New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So that's the GFS. Doesn't really show anything, but look at these lines right there. Those are the isobars. The isobars are very close together, meaning it could be very windy. So you're going to see some very cold temperatures, and with the wind chills, especially with this tight pressure gradient, you could see sub-zero wind chills and maybe close to zero like real-time temperatures, especially going near midnight on New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day when the ball drops. So that is the GFS. Excuse me. Now let's take a look at the Euro here. And what was this? Oh, I was looking at this before. So let's go back. So going into Friday, dry. Now Saturday, it does show more in the afternoon. A little bit more, and this is pretty easy to tell it's going to be snow. It's because that thick blue line, that's the 540 thickness line, that's generally accepted to be kind of the freezing point, even though it's not an exact measurement of temperature. But when you get such low thicknesses, it's called. There we go, I zoomed in. Even here, it's getting to 510, 516. Pretty much know that all the atmosphere is frozen at that point. So all this precipitation is going to be snow. So that's showing Saturday. And then it does intensify a little bit going into Saturday evening. About 7 o'clock is this point. Then this is when it's called phasing. This is what we've been looking at. Two low pressure systems coming together. And it's what's called phasing. This is where it's showing these systems phase together. And you see this moisture really kind of explode. It's not really, it's in our area. It's doing this phasing kind of more offshore. Then, let's see, going into Sunday, pretty dry, and then the same thing for Monday, going into Monday evening. So that's the Euro. The Canadian, I don't usually pay too much attention to, but in this case, I just want to take a look at everything, just to take a look. And here, let's see. So this is really tight pressure gradients. This is Thursday, but still, you definitely want to bundle up and not have any exposed skin there. And let's see here. This is now Saturday evening. So this is about 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. The snow is starting there. And then this one is showing a little bit more of accumulation type snow. Let me see if I could change this into what this thinks of snowfall. And this is assuming the 10-to-1 ratio where 1 inch of rain is 10 inches of snow. Don't know if it's exactly going to be that 10-to-1 ratio in this because it could be so cold. It could be a little bit taller than that or a little bit wider, so maybe a 15-to-1 ratio. The colder the temperatures get, the drier the snow gets, so the more fluffy snow, that's when it kind of expands and is less dense. So the total, when it's less dense, goes up a little bit. So let's take a look at this real quick here. So let's see, going through the day on Saturday. Still, it's not really showing too much going through Saturday into Sunday. This is one where it could be more close to the shore. You may see some more snow, but inland not as much, which was opposite of the Christmas Day snow. The more inland you were, the more snow you saw at that day. So this is showing maybe less than an inch, a little coating of snow there, which is between the, say, 0.1 and 1. Right about there is these couple of contours. So not really too much, maybe say between a coating to an inch or two there for most areas. So that's what the Canadian is showing, the CMC there. Next, this is the IBM Watson supercomputer Deep Thunder project. And let's see what this shows in terms of the precipitation. This is Thursday. Still dry. Now this is going into Friday. Let's see, right about there. So this is Friday evening. It's showing some snow showers starting a little bit sooner. And here, it looks actually pretty dry for Saturday. And then nothing really too substantial, so it doesn't really show any kind of that phasing going on over the land. Right about there. That's pretty much as we see. And then going into Sunday, still pretty dry. And that's as far out as that forecast model goes, it looks like. Let me see, what hour are we at? Yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. Now then, the NAM. So let's see, this is a little bit more higher resolution forecast model. So Thursday, still look how tight these isobars are. That's what prompted the wind chill warning. And Friday here, so it's ever so slightly starting. It's about 1 p.m. So in the afternoon, maybe a few little snowflakes there, but that's not really anything significant. And this one's almost at the end of the forecast period there. So Saturday, and nothing really on Saturday. So this coastal storm may not turn out to be that much of anything, just because that phasing, what I was talking about, doesn't really happen over the land. And the last one, this is also one of IBM's forecast models. This one's called the RPM. So let's see here. That was the end. So this is tonight, dry. Let's take a look at these isobars for tomorrow. Not as tight as some of the other forecast models, but still, it's going to be windy. And you can even see if you zoom in, these are showing that the nautical tacks. So each of these tall lines is 10 knots, and a half is 5 knots. So coming into New York City from the ocean, it looks like, from the northwest. Sorry, I can't read it. The antibiotics are taking effect. The northwest to the southeast, because these are always showing where the wind's coming from. It's showing about, say, 20 knots, which at that low level, you kind of think of almost as 1-to-1. 20 knots is almost 20 miles per hour. It's not exactly. Once you get up into higher levels, say 100, 150 knots, which is what you kind of see in the upper atmospheres, that's where it becomes a bigger difference between knots and miles per hour. But so this is, say, around 20 miles per hour. That's what that's showing there. Now this is going into Friday. Nothing really too much. Now Saturday, let's see if it does anything there. And this one goes out just until about 1 p.m. on Saturday, and that's as far out as that forecast model goes, which still isn't showing too much. It's just showing a little bit of some streaks there of some snow showers. So all in all, let me switch back now to my main camera. So all in all, it doesn't really look like too much is happening with this. Last week, or going into last weekend as well, it looked like there was a potential between some of the forecast models of more significant snow, but now a lot of these forecast models are coming into agreement that it's not really going to be a significant snow event. It's more so, it looks like right now, just going to be kind of light snow showers, if anything, a coating to 1, maybe at most 2 inches. But that's what the forecast models are showing for today. I'll try and keep you guys, excuse me, I'll try and keep you guys updated as much as I can. Can't really talk too well. The breathing's a little bit labored at the moment, so I don't really have time to do a lot of weather videos, but I'll try and get it. If not anything, just kind of like social media posts on my Facebook and my Twitter account, and possibly Instagram, but we'll see. So that was pretty much it for the weather podcast for this week. Sorry, it wasn't too much of a regular weather forecast at the green screen, but that's pretty much it. So again, with the frostbite warning, I have a link down in the description about, I have an explainer video kind of showing the effects in real time with a thermal imager of frostbite on my own hand. So that's going to be there. I'm going to try and have, besides weather and cars, another thing I kind of like is technology. So I'm going to try and have a video up of top 10 gadgets and electronics from this year. And technology-wise, I kind of consider one year to be November the previous year to December, or November, December this year. So anything that was kind of holiday last year, November, December until now. So I'm going to try and show you kind of like a top 10 kind of tech gadgets that I like. A couple of them you've seen already. So we'll discuss that a little bit more coming up in those videos. It's going to be kind of like a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 is going to be 10 through 6. And then part 2 is going to be 5 through number 1 tech of the year for me. So, if you want to see all those weather updates, a technology update, even some more car updates, hit that little subscribe button below and that bell icon right next to it. And that will show you whenever I upload a new video, whether it's a weather video, technology video, car video, anything like that. So this is meteorologist Andrew Pinero. Have a great evening, everybody, and definitely stay safe in these very, very cold conditions and bundle up. See you later.